Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? It's been a long day today. And Marie, I hope you're still here. Um, you can come up here on panel too. I was glad because I didn't have your email or anything tonight, but I did get a hold of Mo, and she's supposed to be here, and Ginger will be here in a little bit. So, um, how's everybody doing tonight? I saw Betty. Hello, Betty. I saw her in here. Um, I watched the Foul Play. I watched Foul Play. It's about the Steven Avery case before I come over here on Saturdays. And today was like really interesting. Some of the things they explained today about the blood evidence and stuff, it was really neat. Hello, Kitty Q. How are you? Glad to see you. You're not late. You're on time. I started at 8:30. See, I have special powers that way. Uh, I know foul play is great, isn't it? The way that they explain everything and the way they have it. We're going to start putting out pictures and documents next week. Um, Me and Becca Chu is going to get them together and we'll present them next week. Um, we were going to just like finish up the story tonight, I think. But yeah, the way that they break it down and all the details that they know about this case, I just want to go outside and jump up, down, and scream at the corruption. I mean, it's just I cannot believe that there's not judges and lawyers and prosecutors out there that's never looked at this case and said, these two were railroaded. They can't tell me that every law enforcement, everybody from here to Kingdom Come is corrupt. But I don't think that anyone's ever going to step in and do the right thing. I don't think that it's too there's too many involved. So I don't think that anyone is going to step up and do the right thing. Hi, Ginger. Um, the link is up. Scroll up a little bit. It's right up there for you, darling. I'm so glad to see Ginger this week, aren't y'all? I was like lost last week. Becca Chu was there. She's I messaged her and she knew that we was doing it tonight. I don't know if she forgot or just running late. I don't know, but yeah, we kind of like just um was running down the story of it. And Ginger, you think Becca Chu knew a lot about the case? Ginger does too. She's like amazing with this case. She knows everything. It's amazing. See, I'm watching for you, Ginger. Yeah, I've got it. I think it's not. It's not pinned. Is it pinned? I don't know what I did. I highlighted or something because I don't think I know how to pin it. And people learn on as they go along. And since I let somebody else do it, I would know a lot more if I'd done it myself. I should have. Yes, we do respect all opinions. We do. And you notice, well, Justin was back in there tonight, and he was really wonderful. I mean, so he must like what we had to say too, because that's all you have to. I mean, all you have to do is look this case up and take one glance at it, and that's what I said. It would only take an honest judge, honest DA to look at it and say, for 5 seconds, that's all they'd have to look at it and see what was going on. But I think that there's just too many involved, too um, too much corruption. Yes, we do. We do respect other people's opinions, and and we hear a lot of opinion. I mean, we hear a lot going. Me, I listen to Foul Play and listening. There's another guy that I listen to about it, and there is a lot of opinions about a lot of it. Um, some thinks that Brandon's innocent and Steven's guilty. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios and things that they think. So, and they're all welcome. I mean, because it never hurts to know someone else's opinion, because that's I was listening to some other people's opinion about this case, and I didn't even, when it first started, I didn't care either way, and then that got me to researching it, and Barb was in there tonight, um, and she kind of from the things that she said in there tonight, gave me a different, I guess, coming from her, out of her mouth, and in just her words that she types, you can tell it's very frustrating. And if you aren't familiar with dealing with law enforcement on a daily basis and know the ins and outs, you know, um, you're just sitting there like a knot on a log, because you don't know what to do and you don't know what steps to take. You know, yeah, she was in there tonight. Hi, Henny, I've missed you. But yeah, and I mean, her talking, her um telling her side from her point of view, that um helps put things in perspective, you know, because I know I just get so frustrated about it. And with my son's case, I would just every night just cry myself to sleep. I mean, it was just horrific. And if you've never been through it before, you never experienced anything like it, you know, not used to it. Well, I mean, it can get to you, and they can get to you. Those crooked law enforcement people can get to you. It's very easy for 'em. Yeah, Mary. Tonight's episode, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I would see some my people. Um, they want me to go on earlier, so um, and I'm trying to, work that in. But I don't. I like Foul Play. I never miss them, and so it kind of runs, together. But I like listening to them before. I wanted to listen to them, especially now that we're covering the case, because they are just so full of knowledge. And anything that you want to know, they can tell you exactly where to go and get it, and just the details that they know. And Doc, his perspective is so deep. He sees things that um, a lot of people don't. Well, you're gonna have to stop doing that. My little dog is next to me, but it's just it's so bizarre. The case, I mean, in itself is bizarre. I mean, I've seen cases where that people got out because they were innocent and stuff, but you don't hear about it until um they're a news thing that says that they're releasing them. Um, I've never got involved with a case that you know they're still in prison, fighting to get out, and it's so public, and because they keep a lot of things, on the hush hush when they're doing these. It's not as publicized, I guess, and and then all of a sudden, the people get out. But I just, uh, I hope and pray that they someday do get out. And but as of right now, I don't know. I, I, a little bit of my hope's been renewed, but I lost all hope of them ever getting out, because I thought that uh, they would, if they get out, then there's going to be trouble for these law people after, all these people. And so, um, if they do get released, I don't think they'll ever make it out from behind those bars. I don't, because of how corruption is. Because, the way that I saw it is that they did it for their own livelihoods because their lives was going to be destroyed. And they decided that their lives were more important than Brandon or Steven's. So, are you going to come up here, Ginger? She's supposed to come up here. Oh, she's probably been waiting. No. No. Okay, Ginger, where are you? She's supposed to come up here. But Ginger just knows so much about it. I want to hear it. I want y'all to hear her uh, because I get all excited when I hear Ginger talk about the case because she just like she knows a lot about it. On especially on the Steven Avery part in the psychological part of it. I mean, she really has. She caught me up on a lot of things, and I was just starting to look at it again. I know. Is that his last name, Dr. Silkman? Um, yes, he is very intelligent. Very, and the way he breaks things down. Um, I like the way that he asks people questions. Like he asked them on the panel, "What stands out to you?" And I can hear it in their voices, though. I know they hate it when he does that because he puts them on the spot. Yeah, he does that a lot, though, and I laugh because I try to find out. I'm like, what is it now? Yeah, yeah. And the way that he his phrases are about the way that because he is educating you. I mean, he really is. He is. Um, yes, she is patient with everyone. She sure is. Ginger's such a good person. I love her to pieces. She's been so busy lately. I've missed her. And Hemi. I haven't even seen Hemi. If she doesn't go live, I don't get to see him. So, where the lady was trying to say they were guilty. I don't know her name. Are you talking about Kichu? Are you talking about the convicting a murderer? The documentaries that they come out just here a while back. Can dance. Oh, you mean just Ginger is not weird. You will get a spanking, boy, for that. She'll get you. We all are weird. Oh, see, I put it at the top. Let's see. Can you scroll down? Yeah, you can scroll down. It's a second from the top. I know Hemi's in here calling you names. Do you see that? You better get him. Hemi. But did you get it? Or you may put it back in here again. I'll do it again. I know how to do it now. See, I have learned this. Just this right here. When I used to do this, used to make me so nervous, and I mess up so bad. Well, I said I could do it. Oh, there it is. I always usually do that, and I can't never do it. Let's see. Well, I have to go here, I guess. Oh, there it is. I'm a mess, y'all. And if I don't knock myself off at least once a night, So if I do that, y'all just kind of have to bear with me. I do that quite a bit. I wouldn't be broken justice if I didn't do that. Okay. And then I go to where? Okay, I go here. Um, in here. Hmm. So I did something now, guys. I'm a mess. Okay, there it is. I got it this time. Well, I said I did. It's not wanting to do it. Ginger, it's not wanting to do it. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see. There she is. Thank goodness. If I had to kept doing that, I was fixing to have a heart attack. Okay, are you here? I think she's here.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, there she
here.
is.
Oh no, I
Hemi's a
have to.
mess.
Oh, him, he's always a mess. He's my broski.
Uh, this is Ginger. This is Ginger, my friend Ginger. We got a couple of people over here from Foul Play,
Well, hello,
and
people.
yes, they come. I'm so proud that they come over here. It makes me feel so good. And
You know, I have looked. I've been trying to find that. Um, because I've heard you guys talking about it, and
huh,
when I listened last week to you and the lovely Becca Sue, um,
yes,
I was like, yes, yes, I love hearing you two. You guys did a phenomenal job, but
thank
I know you
you.
guys kept talking about foul play, and I'm like, where's this foul play? And I
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
find it. Yeah, because
Oh you.
in the search, it comes up with all sorts of things, videos about foul
Well,
play, and
I will. I'll send you the link.
yeah, you need to
I'll
do
send
that.
you the link. Yeah. Um, cause you'll like it, Ginger. You'll really enjoy it. Um, Barb, his Brandon's mom, comes in there. She was in there tonight.
Is it? I thought it was Brendan.
Brandon,
Yeah, Brendan. Because I have
Brandon.
Brendan. Because I have a grand.
I say Brandon.
I have
Okay, it's Brendan. Yeah.
I have a I have a nephew named had a nephew named Brandon who passed away, but
Mhm.
I
No, I'm
have
sorry.
my grandson's name is Brendan too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's the way that uh
He spells
they
his
spell
different.
his name.
No, his is Brendin.
Oh, okay.
Or it might be two N's. I can't remember. It's one N. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I kept going, no, don't name him. That's too close to your cousin's name. But
Yeah.
she was dead set on naming him Brendan. And it grew on me.
But yeah, Barb, Brandon's mom was in there tonight,
Oh,
and
bless her
she
heart.
talks. I mean, she tells um
When you're inside a situation like she was, it had
mhm.
to be overwhelming. It had to be overwhelming, you
It's
know?
more and overwhelming is not even the word for it. You're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, and you are beat down and intimidated, and you feel hopeless. That and there's and no matter what you do, you accomplish nothing. You feel like you accomplish not anything at all, and it is frustrating, especially for a mom. I mean, just because she has to live with her baby being in there every day, and that's hard. It is hard, and I told her now if she ever needed to talk, then I knew where she was coming. I know how she feels, and I would love to just talk to her, because I know things that made it easier for us to where that we could function. Hi, Alex. Alex is here.
Hey,
Good to
Alex.
see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm starting true
Marie.
crime back up, though.
I
But
hadn't
yeah,
seen
and
Marie in
she
forever.
really and just her emotions through her text. I mean, you can tell just the way she words things and stuff. you can tell she's still real frustrated.
Oh, I would be
The
too.
frustration. Hmm. It's like, because no matter, I mean, she has people helping Brandon, but it's like, um, no matter how many people you have working on it, you still feel like you're at a standstill. Nothing can happen fast enough. And
Oh, I bet.
her baby's been in there. I mean, this is the best years of his life. He can never
Yeah.
get that back. But me and Becky, we were talking. We got to the part to the planner where that Teresa had her planner with her that day, and well, hi, I'm glad you stopped by, Alex. She had her planner with her that day, and um, her boyfriend he had it. I mean, that's something that has that I haven't um figured out yet. There's
Well,
Marie.
I can't figure that out either because it's like you have the planner with you, but it was with her. How's that
Mhm.
happen?
Yeah,
How
how
does
did he
that
get
happen?
it?
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's some. There's so many holes in this.
mhm.
It's like a strainer, and like a spaghetti strainer or something.
Mhm.
There's too many holes in this.
Yes.
Either way you slice it.
Uh yeah, Betty. Oh, Ginger can. Oh, well, not you. You can't do it. I have to do it. Let me see. Okay, hold down the fort. If I get knocked off, I'll be right back. Okay. I'll go get
Okay.
that link. I'll go get that link for y'all. Okay.
Why would you remove yourself, Marie?
But what? Hey, Marie. Oh, yeah, Marie. We want you up on panel. Are you going to come up here?
I miss Marie.
No.
I miss
I want her
everybody
to come up
here.
here, though. Yes, Marie. I want you to come up here. Push on the stream yard. Sometimes I'm not. I'm real rusty at this because I've had somebody doing it for me. So if you pop up on my guest thing, sometimes it takes me a minute to see it. I'm sorry, but yes, come up here. Do, my dear. I'll put you up here before I go. Before I go get that link for y'all. Hang on, let me put the link back in here. I think I can do it. Okay.
I don't know. It's different. Like it's different for people on iPhone than it is for people on
Yeah.
Android. And I could walk people through app, iPhone, but I'm
It's
just,
difficult for me, period. You know that. Okay, let's see how I do this. Push on that. I'm telling you, I'm y'all like Marie, she does this, and stuff. I don't. I'm like, oh God, what do I do? Oh, there it is.
sometimes I have to have my tech team walk me through it.
Yeah, you do have people at your house that does know about this stuff. Okay, Marie,
My team.
that I think that did it. There it is, Marie. I'll bring you up here before. Yeah, I think she. Yeah, I think she might have come up here, and I didn't see her come up here. There
Yeah,
you
you
go,
have to
Marie. Come up here,
flip
huh?
back and forth. It takes like 2 minutes to get through for me anyway.
Yeah,
Because you have to go through that StreamYard guest stuff, and
yeah. It's kind of. I'm just so rusty on it. Except that at least I'm not. Um, I don't get as nervous. You
oh
know.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
I've
when
heard,
I screw up, everybody's used to me screwing up, so I'm not as nervous about it anymore. But trying to see, Mary, if I give you a wrench, do you think you could go get the link for foul play for me?
oh, that would be
'Cause I think,
wonderful.
yeah, because I think that I'll have to open this. Marie better not have left us. She better not have taken off. I hope she didn't.
Well, it's like
I hope she
1:30,
didn't.
2 o'clock at her time.
I know, and she was trying to stay awake for it.
Oh, bless
So
her heart.
I hope that she didn't get upset.
I miss her.
I know I
I think
love her voice. I could
I
listen to
think
her.
I miss her like the Dickens, I tell you.
Okay. All right. Mar- I think I can do it.
Hey AJ, you
If
ordered
I
more
get knocked
food?
off, I'll come back. Hi, AJ. Have you looked into this case? Because I wanted you to.
Don't spend all
Okay.
your money on DoorDash there, little girl.
On DoorDash.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh goodness, time to kick up and relax, AJ. Oh, hope you don't hear too much of the background here. All right.
Okay. I have it. I didn't knock myself off, did I?
No, you didn't.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Baby steps,
I'm
baby
getting so
steps.
much better at this. Okay.
Right?
Well, I think I am. I don't know. I can't tell.
That'd be
Oh,
about
yeah,
the
you gotta
time.
do it that way.
If I said that'd be about the time I fell off.
Well, see, that's what I just thought. I think I almost just did. But it's not wanting to pace for me now. It'll make me go back. Darn. Oh no. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm learning, y'all. It might take me a little bit, but I am learning.
It's a learning curve.
I'm trying. Used to it was bad. Used to I could not do it. 411 now finally taught me through it one night. I was almost in tears because I couldn't drop the link or anything.
Oh,
Okay, now
honey.
let me see if I can do it.
I've only done it through my phone twice. The rest of the time on my laptop, you
Mhm.
know, and I'm like,
Okay.
the second, I mean, the first time I did it, I never figured out how to drop it. And I think the second time, I had to get one of my girls to show me how to do it. Okay. Oh, where'd she go? Where'd she go? So we were talking earlier on the phone about all the like things that didn't make sense.
Uh oh. Can you hear me? Oh
I can hear you.
no.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
All right. I couldn't hear you, but now I can. It's fine. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
You were talking about when
No,
we
I
were
was
talking
just
earlier.
yeah, we were talking earlier about the things that just too many holes, too many things that didn't make sense. And I mean, I watched Making a Murderer and I got halfway through what was it? Making a Conviction and I'm like, you know, there was too many holes.
Right.
It's like it was that didn't make sense. Your
And
argument
the only reason
there doesn't make sense.
and the only reason they did that is because they were um upset about making a murderer. Um, them saying that it leaned towards Stephen's innocence instead of um that it was biased. You know. But
Oh,
the
oh well,
what okay, the investigation, the trials, the afterwards, the everything was biased in their favor of framing these two. So yes, people that see what's going on is going to be a little biased in the other direction since their voices have not been heard yet.
yeah. And
That's the
then you
way
got
I
to
see
think
it.
of now when they do other cases, a lot of times you can't bring in previous cases. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
can't.
Right.
So it's there's just okay, like you know how we were talking about the remains, the bonfire or whatever, right? That looked like cremation. It did not look like you would burn someone outside. That would take
Hmm.
forever, and the degree of heat you would have to be concentrated. You know,
Right.
it's like somebody just like, oh, here's the burn pit. Let's go get
Hmm.
crematorium ashes and throw them here. I mean, I'm not saying that's what
Hmm.
happened, but that's what it
Right.
looked like. It looked
Be-
very planted because somebody would know if a fire was roaring for hours on end. And
oh yeah, it would. And like
and
I
they
heard a case, that man that we were talking about that they did burn him in there. Um, and I did hear a little bit about another case earlier that it takes about 24 hours of burning hot.
yes,
Uh,
and it's a certain temperature, and it's like I said, an
hmm.
enclosed space.
And
Because
if you're doing it in a burn pit, you're going to have it hot, and it's going to take longer. So
way longer
it's
because I
hmm.
mean because you got to think of this when it's in okay like a crematorium, right? That's
Hmm.
enclosed. So that heat and all that is in that surrounding area, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
it's going to heat up more. Whereas if you're in the open flame, that the heat's going everywhere. That's
And look at the time of year it
science.
was too. It's going to be cooler outside.
Yeah, science.
And I just think that I just think that it's
I
just all of
think
it put together. All they have to do is go and look case files. I mean, that didn't make sense. The time that burn pit, it couldn't have been burning long, and just where there was no DNA evidence in his house.
here's
Uh,
the thing. Here's the thing. The first one was more slanted towards the defense. The second thing that they just let out is more slanted towards uh the prosecution, right? So what you
right.
have to do is you have to use discernment and observation skills and remove yourself from looking at things subjectively and look at things objectively, and that's how you're going to be able to pick out certain things.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, they're going to have a counter to everything. Each side's going to have a counter to this, counter to that. But what you have to do is Occam's razor it. You know,
Mhm.
um, when you search a house 6 times and it takes you 6 times to search a house before you find the keys to this raft, come on. And of
What does
course,
that tell you about how you're doing your job? I mean,
okay, let's not even get into the bedroom where this supposedly happened, right?
mhm.
If her throat was slit while she was alive, like Brendan supposedly said, arterial spray would be everywhere. There would be no hiding that in that trash bit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the the cleanup would be so obvious, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm just saying there would be arterial spray on the ceiling, in the foam, because those ceilings are foam. There'd be no getting rid of it,
Mhm.
right? It
And they would
absorb
be
right in.
and it would have been clean when they went in there to search the first time. It would have been spotless. There
Well,
would not be any dust. There would not be nothing anywhere if they cleaned up that well.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, right there, it couldn't be. I'm not saying,
mm,
what I'm saying is that could not be the location.
mm.
It, you know, um,
In
the
cases that we've seen
garage.
before, they said that people that have done the cleanup said that it when they started cleaning it up, it got worse and worse. I mean, it was just multiplying. It just uh, they said they didn't expect it to be that much blood and it to be like it was, so messy, and sticky, getting everywhere.
Here's the reason.
And
Okay, Kitty, the reason it was so detailed is if you watched, and then they don't show all of them, right? But if you're able to watch all of his interrogations, all of them. Now they removed some of them, but years ago I watched all the interrogations. They had this kid in interrogation at one point for what, 16 hours straight.
yes,
No food, no water. They weren't even letting him have a bathroom break. Okay, he's gonna tell you whatever you tell him you want to hear. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying. I mean, I'd be like, and then his science fair project, right? He wanted to
hmm
go to that so bad. He didn't want to miss that. He was so worried about that. Now, I don't know, does he have autism at all? Because
I don't know. I'm not sure.
he seems
But um,
focused. He was so focused on that that it almost made
I
me feel
think
like,
that he's smart. I think that it just comes slower, and I think that once he uh, concentrates on something, and just like they were saying, that he was so detailed in what they did to him. Yeah, and he had so much time um, to figure it out. Think about what they were doing, and he had time in, I'm sure, silence. To uh, and he could do it on his own time. He wasn't pressured into, making a decision right then, or deciding, what took place, in a hurry. I think he's smart. I just think that he's slower at, it takes him more time.
that's what I mean by on the autistic in a
Yeah.
way, like he's on the spectrum somehow. Because he was so focused on getting to that science fair. So, I mean, if
Mhm.
I'm somebody that's being pressured and constantly, you think that your only way out is to say whatever they want to. Um,
Mhm.
these are, I mean, these are techniques that I'm going to be honest, Colts use. Break them down, no food,
Mhm.
no water, deprive them of rest, um,
Mhm.
and then keep repeating to them what you want them to say back to you. Okay,
Mhm.
that's how that works.
And can you
And
imagine
no,
what they did? What they said and did to him when they weren't on camera? And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because
you
this,
know,
now tell me. I mean, because one of the things was, tell me what you said when the camera was off, and it was when they're shutting the camera off. What are they doing? You
mhm.
did this. We know you did this. We know you did this. Tell us how you did this. You know, like a lot of it when he was on camera was leading. Like you would see objection in a courtroom if a lawyer cross-examined or interviewed somebody on the stand and talked to them the way they talk to that child, right? A defense lawyer, any defense lawyer with assault would be like objection, you know, leading the witness, because if you tell somebody something so much, they're going to believe it or they'll get confused. And that's part of the
Mhm.
deprivation. Oh, Penny's back.
Yeah. Should I let him up?
If he could behave, behave, brother.
Yeah, you have to behave because we have to cover this case, or to take you down.
Right?
Uh,
Oh, to take you down.
I don't know how to get back to where I was at. See, oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. I know I get lost. I'm like, okay, where am I at? It'd be so easy if they made this so much simpler. Like this is the button you do this with. This is the button to do that with. You know. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Oh, Hemi. It seems like he could go up there, stream up there, and push that. Okay, Hemi, let me see. That's what I ought to make him do. If you can do that, go scroll up there. No, I got it. I think.
But when you break
Listen,
away,
is that your kiddos? That sounds so cool.
all my kids are always in the background.
I know people. I remember when people used to get so upset. There. Um,
Yeah, my kids are
when
screaming in the
they would
background.
hear anything in the background or anything like that, and I was just saying, I'd tell them if my kids are over, you're going to hear them in the background, and if that is too much for you to handle, then I'm so sorry. You know. Okay, honey. All right. There you go. Hi, Hemi. Okay,
Hey,
and then I just don't see just the DNA alone. You know, when uh they shot. You know, Brandon said that they shot her 10 times in the garage. Well, if
okay,
that's
here's the
so,
thing. They shot her 10 times in
where's
the
the
garage,
blood
yet,
evidence?
yes,
Ten
yet,
Huh?
times?
well, no. What I found amazing is they searched the garage before. And
Hmm.
then after he said that, all of a sudden they searched it and found a bullet hole and a bullet with her tissue on
Right,
it. But they'd already
and
searched
the
the garage.
bullet was on top of the dust where they jackhammered.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they came in with hazmat suits on like they were real professionals after they'd already been through that garage over a bunch of people have been in there without
Mhm.
gloves, without anything on.
Without booties,
And then they go
nothing.
in to, when they found the bullet, they went in fully dressed in hazmat suits and all professional.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But what's the story? She was shot 10 times or she
because
died from having her throat slit. Which one
because
is it?
that was what they were going to use as evidence. They needed to look like that they were doing it correctly.
Oh, that's right, because they came up with that after he said, and
Hmm.
then they couldn't find
Yes.
anything in the house. They had to go to the garage, and then his story changed. See, that's
Hmm.
what's amazing.
Oh.
It's like none
The
of it makes.
extreme of the violence. This is what gets me. Okay, they fed him the extreme, most extreme circumstances on the violence part, right? Shot
Uh huh.
10 times, throat being cut. I mean, uh, uh, dismembered. I mean, that is the on on a level of violence that is uh somebody had to be just crazy mad. I mean, just out there. I mean,
See, the
that's
only
overkill.
the
All
only
of it.
thing, okay, what they focus on in the latest documentary for the basically saying, the prosecution side is they
Hmm.
keep focusing on Brendan's behavior after everything. Well, okay, I want to point this out. If you're being questioned constantly, your behavior is going to change. If
Oh
they're
yeah.
filling your head with stuff like this, your behavior is going to change.
Hmm.
You're going to be depressed. You're going to be quiet. You're going to be contemplative. Um, that's extremely confusing for someone like that.
Hmm.
You know,
Especially his age.
a 16-year-old, you know,
And I mean, um, and they're lucky that it didn't. That his behavior. I mean, that he didn't do something drastic because of what they were doing. Just the gist of it all.
well, okay, you studied the psychological field or psychology field and worked with troubled kids.
Uh
You
huh.
know what you know what this kind of thing can do to a kid. The suggestibility. I mean, it's it's insane. I mean, kids are peer pressured into a lot of things as it is by other kids.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
imagine law enforcement or people that you think are there to serve and protect. They're telling you what they want to hear, and you're going to comply
Hmm.
because they are in power and you are not. They are
Right.
adults. You have to trust the adults. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And people aren't looking at it that way. They're not.
Right.
They're like, well, he confessed, so it had to be this way. But what they're not looking at is that he confessed to they did all sorts of horrible things to her in this bedroom first and slit her throat, right?
Mhm.
Well, when they couldn't find any forensic evidence to back that, then the garage stuff, you know,
Then they
developed.
shot her 10 times.
Then that story developed. And
I
he was
mean,
doing saying whatever they wanted him to say.
mhm.
You could tell that just to get out of there. And then
Mhm.
when they hear what they wanted him to say, oh, you're not going home now.
Right.
After they, manipulated the kid
Mhm.
into doing it, what they wanted.
Right. And then they said that, oh no, you're not going anywhere. You're going down just just like
It's
we're going
okay,
after you,
Kitty.
just like Steven.
It's
You know
okay, Kitty. You can believe it. I mean, I'm just
Mm.
saying that none of it
What?
made sense how the confessions came out. None of that made
Yeah.
any sense. He changed his
Yeah.
story
Too.
so many
Yeah. We.
times.
Mhm.
It just didn't
I.
make
I
any
just.
sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't see how that they would be guilty. Why would you want to give up? Um. His Stephen had a future. Finally, a good future ahead of him. Why would he risk that? And Brandon, he's just a young kid. Why would he want to participate in something like that? I mean,
See, the
he
reason
had
I
no
think,
history of it. He had a little girlfriend and everything. I mean, they're just,
see, that's the thing. The girlfriend thing, I'm not so sure it was his girlfriend. It might have just been a girl that he crushed on. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I'm, but still, I mean, still, if when you have a crush like that, you're only focused on that person, you
right.
know.
I mean,
Um, but what gets me is their theory is he did it because or Avery did it because he was um bitter about being in jail already and already served time. So he felt like he was entitled to do
hmm
something like this. Oh, come on. Here's the thing. The problem with that right there is this guy was on cloud nine thinking he was winning a case worth millions of dollars. Yeah, I don't think he was thinking that, I'm just going to go off somebody. You know what I mean?
right,
Because, like
right.
you said, he had a bright future, millions of dollars
hmm
possibly coming his way. Um, I don't think,
Ginger,
there's,
can you see if you can bring Hemi up? I can't. I brought him up. It's on. Something's wrong.
he's up.
He
Is
said,
he
"What did I
muted?
No,
do?"
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay,
I was
He
just
was listening.
no, no,
okay,
ladies. I was just on mute because
okay. I
I
just want to
didn't
make
want
sure.
to.
Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure.
No,
Okay,
no, we're
okay,
good.
that's cool.
I
Okay, well,
I I
thank
was
you.
on mute because
Okay,
I wanted to let you two girls
okay.
talk
Well, I was just checking on
and
you.
not
So,
interrupt.
okay.
I didn't
Uh-huh.
want to interrupt,
Oh,
Good
Betty,
boy.
your cousin
but
is
I
a
heard
lawyer.
Betty needs a lawyer. She
No,
did
her.
something wrong. Yeah, Betty did something wrong.
Not our Betty. Think again,
Oh,
our Betty.
oh, that Betty needs a lawyer for sure. Right. Um. Now, um. Kitty cute. Okay. Um. Just kind of give me like I don't know, like short version or something about what is it that makes you feel that they're guilty? I mean, what what is it that tells you that they
Yeah,
are
that'd be great.
guilty?
I
I would
mean,
love to hear that. I'd like for her to come up and tell us, but I mean, you
see,
know.
that's what we love. We love hearing like stuff we may have not heard or
hmm
missed, and that's the
Yes.
cool part. I'm one of those people. It's like I try to weigh things,
hmm
evenly, and I like it when people like educate me. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Kitty Q on that. Yeah, on that phone call. The way that I see that is that he admitted it to his mom because they set that up. For him to do that. I believe. I mean, it's just my opinion, and he admitted to it in his. Um, yeah, but the evidence doesn't show it though, and they use that technique on people and get them to confess every day false confessions,
Well,
and it
that's why
was
they're
easy
trying
for
to
them to do with him, huh?
that's why a lot of law enforcement agencies are now discouraged from using the Reed technique. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, the Reed technique. Um, it just I don't know. I have to go on the evidence. I mean, the hardcore evidence is right in front of you, and it's like there's no DNA anywhere. I mean, her blood would be somewhere there. If they go by Brandon's confession, does not match up to the crime scene, and in many cases of false confessions, that's why they are really not. I mean, it's the police officers that say, "Oh no, the evidence doesn't match with what you're saying, so you couldn't have done it."
no,
But these police officers wanted him to say he did it. They weren't out. They weren't looking out for him. They were looking out for themselves. But yeah,
well, let's. I mean,
well, the
here's the
Reed
thing.
technique, yeah, it is still used.
The
In a lot of
investigators,
places, they are trying to get it thrown out now.
but the
And
investigators talk about the investigators. Now, what
hmm
kind of conflict of interest was there?
right,
I mean, when
uh,
you have the ones that are named in the lawsuit investigating this, that
the
was a
three main
horrible
ones
way.
that was named in the lawsuit, and their livelihoods was going to be gone, and they let them investigate it. Even the FBI come in and took a back seat and let them take it, and didn't step in at all to do anything to make any kind of difference.
Here's the thing: they say the Reed technique isn't used, but then they use the red Reed technique,
hmm
and it was
Yeah.
used
See,
in
there's
this
a lot of
case.
places that have banned. I mean, that
They banned
law
it.
enforcement themselves have chosen not to use it there. But
Hmm.
as far as it's still legal for them to use it.
Oh,
Now,
you know
if
what I
the
just
good
saw?
people, the I don't know who puts that in place, but ever who's in charge of certain, of that, ever what it is, there's certain states that have removed that won't use it, and I just think that his confession. Oh yeah, I was thrown out. Yes, the confession was thrown. Oh, I'm glad you said that. The confession was thrown out. Brandon's confession was thrown out,
Well, they probably
and
saw all the hours
by a
of.
judge, and the upper court reinstated it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was thrown out. He would have been sent home, but no, they appealed it. The DA appealed it, and to a higher court, and so it was they reinstated it, so he didn't get out. And I just think that's wrong.
Well,
You
of
know.
course, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you have people that were guilty of things that got off on technicalities. You have people that were innocent that got convicted on not even material things. It's just that's where you have let's just look at it at socioeconomically, right? These are poor folks, right?
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's go back to OJ. If he didn't have all
Right.
that money and all that fame, he would have been, you know, convicted. But his name carried him through, you know? So it's
Okay,
like you
Marie. I
see
hope that
that.
you're doing okay, though. Thank you for coming and telling me that because I was worried. I hope to see you next Saturday. Then you can catch up on the case because I want you on panel. She told me she would do this with me, so she's going. She's going. I'm gonna hold her to her word because I want her on panel.
Oh, yes, I know. I
We love
love
you,
Marie.
Marie. Have a good night. But
Night, Marie, sweetie.
yeah. I mean, it's just, and I don't know. and and I can understand why some people would think that um that confessions is really important, and they are. Some of them are. Some of them are just wrong. They're just wrong.
But the
And
thing is, when you use those psychological techniques on somebody, and you said you thought he was smart, but here's the thing: I thought they said his IQ was 80.
yeah,
That's below normal. Okay,
yeah.
easily easier to influence. 16, and
mm.
it's just.
Let me put it this way: I think he's smart on a um, artistic level.
Mhm.
Um, I think that he has put, he had time to dissect the case and stuff, and he has put his he put his, I think, that part of his brain into use where it come to knowing the details of what he done. I mean, what they did to him, because it is very important of
Mhm.
him having a life again. But I
And
think he is artistic. I do know that. So,
artistic or autistic or
hmm
both. I don't know.
now it could be. I mean, yeah, it could be. But yeah, he was just, and I don't think that he got any extra kind of help to um um give him the
Cope.
stimulants and stuff that he needed to, in his brain to stimulate his brain. And because I know that some of them can, some people can get hyper focused. You're not very smart on this over here, but you're
Yes.
smart here. I mean, it's just
Yeah. No,
um
I'm just saying he's neurodivergent, and it's like,
right.
and I can tell, got enough of it around me, like,
hmm Yeah, it was
um,
very easy for them to do that though to him. I mean, it was
that's what I'm
very
saying.
easy.
It was easier to manipulate. And
hmm
here's the other thing. There was something about the bus, right? When she disappeared, right? He was still at school.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was established that he was at school.
hmm
It makes no
Right.
sense that he kidnapped her. And then it was what?
Right.
He walked in on him. Later, the story was he walked in on him in that trailer.
I think. Well, he went over to take the mail to his uncle, and his uncle told him to come here and see what you know he
Okay,
was doing.
first of all, if you're a maniacal killer, you're not going to go, "Hey, look what I'm doing." You know what
I
I mean?
know. I know.
I was
I
like,
mean, I mean, Why would he want
that's
to? And if
that's a
he was doing
guarantee.
something, if Stephen was doing something like that, why would he want to involve his
Nephew.
nephew in something like that?
You know what? I mean, it makes no sense. It's like, well, come on in. Let me invite you in for tea and rape.
Right.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't
Yeah,
think
Mary, I
like
will.
people.
Yeah.
I don't think like some people. I've looked at this objectively. Now it's like there's too many holes. There's too much manipulation.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't think. I think they did a Mark Furman.
Yes, they did. If I knock myself off, I'm gonna go get a link. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Keep going. I'm listening.
The thing is, I mean, who thinks like that? If you don't want to get caught, why would you involve somebody like that? You know, I mean, like I said, but I think I'm thinking like a normal person, I guess. I'm not thinking like somebody with a devious mind, but you know, right? I
Okay.
mean, I'm not,
Can you hear me? Okay.
yeah, I'm, criminal minds will show you that.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah, some criminal mind stuff here, It, yeah, it just doesn't make sense that you would be like, oh, come see what I'm doing. But then
I know that
again,
just,
is that the type of person who needed somebody to brag to? You see what I mean? I'm looking at it
mm-hmm,
from, I'm weird that way. I try to remain neutral on a lot of things, but my mind says there's, it makes no sense for them to, for the people investigating it to be the people that he's suing, that Avery was suing.
right.
That right there, they should have, what would you call, like, recuse yourself, or have other investigators step in, even from another county if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But those people should have not been investigating it, because they were,
Mm,
because it put too many things into question.
right. See, I mean, that was the first thing that I saw. When I stepped into the door, I was like, okay, why are these people investigating this when it's a conflict of interest? Why aren't haven't they removed themselves? And when they didn't, why didn't they throw it out in court when they saw who the investigators were?
Yeah.
And why didn't this is something I question Brandon's and Steven's lawyers for? Why is it that they didn't stand up there and go, this is a conflict of interest. We'll just cut it off right here. Let's just, you know, get a mistrial for this right here.
Well,
Why did
because
that?
when you go
Why?
to
I just don't think
preliminary,
that. I don't think
because
their
that,
lawyers stood up enough for them.
well, maybe the lawyers were thinking this too. Like, okay, what we don't know is there's a lot. Okay, we only see so much evidence, right?
Hmm.
We only see so much. We're only given a little, like, peep
Smidget.
when they do when an investigation happens. We
Hmm.
only get a snippet of it.
Yes, Kitty
We
Q,
don't get,
you're welcome here. Definitely.
yeah,
I love hearing.
yeah. I love
I mean,
hearing other.
when you say something, I'm just gonna come back, with what I believe. But it's nothing against you or anything. It's just just going back and forth
We have so many
because
questions.
it just I don't know. It hurts my heart. I mean, but her her reasoning for thinking that they're guilty it makes me feel better because confessions is a strong thing. It is
Yeah.
strong.
It is. Yeah.
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 Okay,
It is.
But
I
I
want to
think
make
the
sure you
one
know that
thing,
you're welcome here.
oh yeah, honey, you're welcome here,
But
Kitty.
just what about like the I mean, like, just on the basis now, what when they started filing appeals and stuff like that, no judge or nobody looked at this and said, well, this is a conflict of interest right here. They get a new trial because this right here can't happen.
I
And it
mean,
just goes through and just keeps going through, and nobody does anything about it. And
I
it should have
think,
stopped. I mean, that right there is basis alone to get something done, and nothing's being done. And there's so much that evidence that could be presented that should have gotten them new trials, and it's just overlooked and tucked under the rug again and tell them good luck, go to the next one.
but
I
what we
don't
have,
understand that.
but what we haven't considered is that it's a court of law. It's
Yeah,
not a spectacle, right? And
right.
the whole series, Making a Murderer, made it a spectacle. And for those court officials, that's got to be like, hey, a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? So they're
Yeah,
going to be a little more um,
reluctant to.
biased. Yes, they're going to be like, okay, wait a minute, you made a mockery of the
Mhm.
judicial system. You bit your thumb at us when when the DNA results came back and you were exonerated from the first, you know, incarceration. You know, I think it's basically we're going to be harder on you this time.
Mhm.
You know,
And like I said, I think that. I think that I think a lot of the honest judges and lawyers and DAs, I think that re- if it has been presented to them, I think they refuse to watch it or see it or look over the paperwork or anything because I I think that they are afraid of what they will see and they don't want to see the corruption.
I think sometimes, and I think sometimes it's it's so mixed up. It's like when you
Hmm.
tie knots in your shoe and you can't get the knots out, you know?
Hmm.
I
Uh,
feel the same. I feel the
Mary
same.
says maybe unsolved no more. What do you
Yeah.
mean unsolved no more?
Oh, have you ever watched that? Kenneth
Yes,
Maine.
but I don't really want to, because I presented him with this case and he did cover it for me. And I just don't watch him anymore because he went right along with what law enforcement said. I mean, even
Yeah.
the obvious stuff that I pointed out. I mean, it was like, no,
You
that
know,
don't happen in law enforcement.
here's the thing. I have relatives on both sides of the family, like my
Mm,
husband's family and mine, that are in law enforcement
right.
that believe they're innocent. And one of them is a retired homicide detective.
Hmm.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, he believes it, you know?
Yeah.
He believes it.
Yeah.
And
I just
he's,
think
like I
that
said, and this guy has had 30 years in homicide.
I think that that um um I think that they have it instilled in law enforcement that you take care of your own, and the only ones that their own is considered law enforcement. Period.
Well, my uncle was of the belief of what we were talking about earlier.
Hmm.
It's not about being right or wrong. It was
Hmm.
they had too much to lose.
Right. Too much to lose, and I feel like that. Um, if someone honest did come across it during the investigation and said anything, uh, they would have buried them too. I mean, you know what I mean? They, I think that they saw. I mean, a lot of them that haven't spoken up, I think they won't because they're scared of what will happen to them, and that's a lot
But
of it.
see, and this is what people don't realize in the big picture.
Sure.
They don't realize in the big picture that if they were willing to use all the psychological, you know, hoops that they went through with Brendan on the rest of the
Yes.
family, it was divide and conquer. And
Hmm.
nobody's seeing that. They manipulated the whole family and
They
set
did.
the whole family at each other.
Hmm.
Okay.
Made
Once
them doubt each other. And
exactly, they were turning
Yeah.
them against each other. They were already dysfunctional.
hmm
It was a whole bunch of psychological tactics. Okay. And if somebody did this crime, right, if in the family, everybody's they're going to doubt him even if they're innocent. Is
hi,
what I'm
Kelly.
saying.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Kelly,
Nobody cares.
you're right. They are.
they're going to
And
doubt them.
I just I just know that what my family went through and what we go through now, and um, I feel for them. I mean, because it just squeezes the life out of my heart. I mean, it's so sad, and it makes me so frustrated because I want to do something so bad, and there's nothing that you can do. Your hands are tied.
I
Exactly.
know.
Mm.
Exactly.
I mean, look at they got the best people working on this, and still look at it.
What's
I
heartbreaking
mean,
is these people are already going through. Did this happen? Did it not? You know what I mean? They're already
mm-hmm.
doubting each other now. There's always
Yeah.
Right,
mistrust, and then it's ripping everybody apart.
right.
And it's like
It's ripping families apart.
exactly,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is ripping family. So it ripped our family apart,
Yeah.
and
exactly,
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
and it's
Sorry. Go
and
ahead.
and it's ripping Teresa's family apart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And repairing our family. We are repairing it uh, because we love each other. I mean, we are doing the best that we can, and Trent puts on a good face, you know. But
Yeah.
uh,
But it
he's
doesn't
going
change
through
what
some
he's been through.
turmoil. He's going through a lot of turmoil over it, and
And
you know, and me and him had problems when he got out. You know, with
yeah,
him feeling alone and feeling like he didn't have anybody. You know, and still he
exactly.
feels, you know.
What,
But yeah, they went to him and said, "Oh, your mother's not going to help you. Your mother believes you're guilty, and just
see,
lying to him."
that's what I'm saying about the psychological games played.
Hmm.
And it's like you do not need
Exactly.
to do that to get down to the truth. I saw a cool technique. It was not the read technique today when I've been watching interrogations the last few days, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's a neat. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that. They were pretty sure because they had the electronic data, everything, the track. They had this guy
Hmm.
on camera in areas he claimed he wasn't. You know what I mean? They had all that. And what they did is they interviewed him. But guess what? They'd had one go in and interview him, and they were all nice to him. They weren't, they didn't come at it hard. You know
Yeah.
what? That one left. Second one came in for like 45 minutes. And then, a third one came in, a fourth one came in. Now they're all offering this guy food and drink, right? Everything. Okay. Getting him comfortable. But there's four different people that interrogated him. And by the fourth
Hmm.
person, and this is the funniest thing, was the nicest guy ever, he was done. They didn't
Oh
come at him.
wow.
They weren't rude. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Mm, yeah.
they didn't say, now you did this and you did that. You see what I mean? They
Yeah.
just, you know, kept saying, okay, can you tell me your timeline again? Can you tell me your timeline again? You know?
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's criminal myself the way that they what because here law enforcement has gotten to the point where they are so comfortable with the corruption that they will look you right in the face and they'll go, "What are you going to do about it?" you know,
Exactly.
and
Yep, you got
yeah,
some of them like
they
that.
do it right in front of your faces now. Here,
Yes. There's some
I
that
mean, they
do
don't
that.
even care, and they know that, and they know all the techniques of getting out of trouble, and and
Mhm.
they're. Um, I was told by a law enforcement guy one time that law enforcement are the worst criminals out there.
I was too. I was told that too.
Yep.
And and I'm not going to lie about it. There's people with badges that get by with murder. You
Hmm.
know?
And they're getting by with their crimes.
Hmm.
That's what the thing about it is. Nobody knows about them because they're getting by with all of it because they know how. And then the stuff that they're doing criminal uh, with their jobs, you know, and people are patting them on the back, going, "It's okay that you're doing this to people." And the way they look at it is, what's a little bit of collateral damage?
Hmm.
It's not our family. It's not going to affect my family, so I don't care.
So what I'm saying is that it's the manipulation, mind games,
Hmm.
you know, um,
No.
and it's like I said, that interview I saw, there wasn't really any mind games. You know, they just
Hmm.
they finally said, okay, we're going to be honest with you, and this is the evidence we have. The
Hmm.
last guy, and um, he denied
Look
it.
at all the cases that come through that they know that the people are guilty. They have evidence against them, and they let
Hmm.
them go home. And they don't file charges for sometimes years. And
Or the ones
they
that
nabbed
they did
these
it.
up right quick with nothing and just made the evidence as they went along.
Exactly.
I mean, and I feel for Steven. I mean, he was out 3 years before he went right back in there, and he's done another 18 years. You know, you know what? I just can't. I feel for him. Him spending most of his life in prison for something he didn't do. I mean, I can imagine how down that he must feel. You know,
Like I said, you'd have to be really stupid to commit a crime like this when you think you're coming into money.
um, right? Exactly. And that was
You
going to
know,
be any day now. I mean, it was. He
the,
had
the,
plans for that money. He had plans for his future.
now hadn't he already won it? Won the case?
No, it was fixing to go to court though. I mean, it was fixing
Oh,
to
okay.
go. It. I mean, like it was like 2 days, 2 or 3 days before he went to court. Yeah, they arrested him 2 or 3 days before he went to court, and so then he had to settle out of court because he had to get a lawyer. So
Yeah.
all the money that he got from that settlement that he settled out of court, he gave to the
That's
lawyers.
yeah.
So he got absolutely nothing for the 18 years he spent in prison for something he didn't do. And I
Well,
think that
see, and it's a
lawsuit,
case
even
like
though he was
this,
arrested for something else, I think that had nothing to do with the first lawsuit.
and
Why didn't
the
they go
other
ahead
thing
with
that
the lawsuit?
people don't notice is the suppression of evidence,
Right.
because that was the problem in the first case. They had
Hmm.
information that would exonerate him,
Right.
and they buried it.
They buried it.
They buried it,
Yep.
and that's the problem right there. So, how
Uh huh.
much do they have that would exonerate him and Brendan, right?
Oh yeah.
That got buried.
Well, look at how they did that during the trial. They covered up. Didn't even give the. This is another thing. They didn't give the defense all the the evidence.
Yes,
And
and
then the trial
discovered.
lawyers, they come up with they didn't give them the evidence until later, way later on, and after the trial. So that right there should be basis of a new trial. Them purposely withholding evidence.
Good point, Mary. Good
What
point. She said
he takes to Jody.
he was. She
Okay.
means he talked to Judy 2 times. Oh, Jody, I'm sorry. 2 times
Oh,
to
I know.
On
Yeah, right. I know, Mary. Yep, you're right there. It just makes no sense.
That's the other thing. He had a girlfriend. I mean, come
Right.
on.
Right.
It's
And look how busy that was a salvage yard. Look how busy that they probably were.
hmm
So who's to say that? I mean, that how could he get by with all that right there at his home and garage when he's right in the middle of the salvage yard when they're all living right around there and come and go all the time.
well, they brought up another trailer too. They brought up another trailer. There was a trailer in between it. Oh, that's right.
Crazy.
Okay, okay, okay. This is one of the things that didn't make sense. On what's his name? Uh, one of the eyewitnesses, his nephew, Brendan's older brother, one that said he saw him going into his trailer. Right?
Yeah.
You can't from his trailer. Like there's, it made no sense
Uh-huh.
because there wasn't a clear view of his door from there. It was too far away, and there was
Yeah.
another trailer in between. You know,
Oh. So
because there were several trailers on the property, and they would
yeah.
identify him. And then then it was also talked about the blue trailer is the one that was in between. And after
Yeah.
he and Brendan were arrested, that trailer got taken, like destroyed.
Yes.
What evidence was in there? I mean, because that's the trailer
Oh,
that obstructed the view to Stevens from his sisters.
right.
It's like, so if you saw Steven going in his house, were you in that trailer? Were you in the one in between? You
Oh
weren't at
yeah.
Mama's. You weren't at Mama's then. You see,
Right.
people are
Yeah.
not picking up these little details. They're
Hmm.
just going. They're just going with what a
The
person on the
overall
internet
picture.
says. They're going with what a big name or whatever person is saying, or you know what I'm saying. They're
Right.
they're following. Oh, well, I don't think this happened, but you missed this detail, that detail,
Hmm.
this detail. You're not when you see the breadcrumbs are not adding up to what one
Hmm.
person says or the other. The story's in between. You know.
But if they are ever
That's
given,
right, Mary.
if
Bobby was lying, obviously, because he couldn't see them from his mom's. That's
hmm
bullshit. You know, that's
right,
bullshit.
right.
Tonight will be a rabbit hole for me. Says Betty.
No, Billy.
Betty, I can't
uh,
get down so many of these
I
rabbit
mean,
holes.
it's just, and and okay, they think that those law enforcement people, I believe that they did this because it's going to take away their livelihoods and everything, destroy them. They think that that was a mess. Just think that if Steven and Brandon get out, it's going to be worse now because look at all the corruption that it's going to that people that help them now, and they will own that state. I mean, that's why I'm saying these two, if they get out, that's why I feel like they will never be able to get out alive
No, they will.
uh,
Mm.
because of that. Because when they get out, they will be awarded lots and lots of money because it was done to Stephen again,
Here's the
and then it was
problem. Most of these states are passing these laws where you can't sue the institutions anymore or the police departments.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
all these loopholes that are being
yeah,
made, so you can't do that.
yeah.
So,
Well, I think, but Brandon, well, see, there was one put in place uh, that there was a cap on how much money you could get for how many years that you spend in prison, innocent. Well,
yeah.
they were going around that. They You can go around those kind of things. KQ's
Yes,
still looking
because
for that. She's gonna be down that rabbit hole tonight looking for that.
here's the thing.
Oh my
Here,
goodness.
here's the thing. See, with all the litigation and stuff, that leaves jurors. You see, it's a sticky wicket because it can leave jury members up
I just
to
like to know how it got
certain.
past the jury. I mean, all this evidence, all this stuff, and those jurors didn't say, no, there's not any blood evidence. What are y'all doing? They just went along with what the law enforcement was saying too. But I don't think that jury was on the up and up either.
That has been discussed.
Hmm.
They said, okay, that's the other thing. There was people from the sheriff's department bringing sandwiches. Come on.
I know it. Can you believe that?
The investigators were in the room with the jury,
Yes.
right, right there. They
Hmm.
cannot be talking to the jury.
Making them comfortable, making sure that they thought they were number one and they were important, and yeah, of course.
That's manipulating the jury. That's jury tampering. The
Okay, what
insurance
now?
company.
Okay, the insurance company knew foul play was happening and canceled. So it up to the people who planted to be sued. Oh, the insurance company, they canceled.
They, yeah, the police
So see, they'll
department.
have to get another insurance company that'll cover them because they have to be covered on that stuff because
They won't.
um, the state can't produce enough money and stuff that they have to reward people because they do it so much. I'm serious. Right? I'm serious. It's hard tack because they are because police officers and everything all the time are getting sued, and lawyers and DAs, and they have to, and that insurance has to pay for that
Here's the
because
other
they.
thing. If they're coming into the jury room, bringing them food,
Hmm.
what is like you bringing a pizza, you leaning over, hey, Susie, remember?
Right. Yes, there was a retired um, officer that was on the jury.
I'm just saying, no, 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 listen. All it was like, I'm making up a name.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Susie. How is your family? You know what I mean?
Right.
How easy is it for jurors to be intimidated?
Right.
The same.
Just like if they if Stephen's lawyers would have been the one that's taking on sandwiches and patting them on the back and and being concerned
Hmm.
and making sure that they were happy, I think that it might have went a different way.
No, it would
I hate
have.
to say that, but y'all
No,
look at YouTube. Okay, y'all look at YouTube and the drama crap. Okay,
right,
look how easily people are manipulated on an everyday basis.
right.
Easy. People are so easily manipulated.
Mm.
And a lot of people follow suit. They will follow, you know, not to, get to go home. And juries get into it all the time. Somebody will hold out and then they'll want to go home and that person is mud. You know,
Or deliver.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of, there's just so many factors that have to be weighed. I mean, it's just, and this is just this case is complicated. These two cases are very complicated. And, the it has been like buried. You know, everything that could exonerate either one of them's been buried so far deep in that you have to go through the process of going through, filing this piece of paper, filing that piece of paper, and maybe you might could see a judge or maybe not. And so, you know, by the time they get all that unburied, uh, no one even cares what's going on with it. I mean, so nobody, it's gone on so long. A lot of people say, why are they still in prison if they're innocent? You know, it's because of corruption. Corruption is thick. And
because it takes forever.
I didn't have a
Even when
clue.
they
I mean,
exonerate people, it takes forever to get them out.
right. But look, how long did their trials run? Not very long. It didn't take very long, did it, for them to sock them behind bars and throw away the key? What, trial went on, what, 2 weeks? I mean, Brandon, his trial, I don't even see what his lawyer did for him whatsoever. It's horrible. But they said the Innocence Project has now picked up Brandon's case. Um, and I just think, I don't know, Thou playing them, they cover all the technical stuff and all the, you know, um, all the forms and all the testimonies and transcripts but nobody's really digging down and covering what it does to the families, what it does to a family when law enforcement decide that your life doesn't matter, um, and they don't care. I mean, the families usually have been through so much they go silent after it's over. They're just glad it's over with, or it's been so long and there's nothing that they can do. They finally, they just go quiet because there's nothing else that they feel like that they can do. And I think that they need to understand that these people that are going through this and have to experience corruption and what it does to people. People need to be made aware of what it does to these kids that get railroaded into prison and what it does to their families. And uh, people need to start screaming that those families and that innocent child that was put in prison is just as important as that judge or that lawyer sitting up there or the Supreme Court. Their lives are just as important. And nobody is screaming that, because of all the turmoil and um, uh, the horrible conditions that they just come out of, that they are traumatized to the point to where they don't want to speak about it anymore. My son just wants it to go away. He does not want to relive it, you know? And me and my big mouth, I'm one that I think that we should scream from the rooftops of what they did, but uh, he said that the corruption is so bad that we wouldn't make it out of telling our story. So I kind of have to listen to him a little bit because I would like to be around, to see my other grandkids grow up and stuff. And but I don't. Um, but I can't just stay silent. I had to feel like I'm doing something.
What do you think, Hemi?
Jimmy's been awful quiet. I'm so proud of him.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry, I because I was just listening.
Yeah, he's been listening.
Hmm.
He's been so sweet, and that sweet, and letting us talk. And
You,
yeah,
yeah, I was letting you two girls talk.
but I just hope that
Um,
I hope someday that they just need to give him a fair shake. Why don't they just give him if they just give him a new trial? I'd be happy with that.
yeah,
You know, a new
yeah,
trial. They're not asking just to
yeah.
be set free, just a new trial.
New
Uh,
trial.
mm,
Um,
yeah, I mean, I just think that, and and I'd like to take take a defense lawyer, take a prosecutor, a judge, and I would like to
punch him in
somebody
the
don't
face.
know anything about this case. Set this case down before them and say, "This is your child. What would you do?"
Yeah,
Put it
yeah,
in your head that this is your son. How would you handle this? Would you let him talk to law enforcement without a parent when he's
exactly.
16 years old?
Yeah,
Would you would what steps would you take to take care of your child if this situation was to happen to you? And I guarantee you, none of them would let any of this pass. None of them.
well, none of them would even take the task.
Mhm.
You
And
know that, okay?
yeah, and look at all
DJ,
the stuff.
you know this. They would not take the task.
Hmm.
Why? Because they wouldn't want to.
Well,
You gotta
and two,
understand the thinking of them, okay? Especially like how you said towards their child.
because
Their
they would say, this,
child,
"Oh, my child wouldn't be there."
they yeah, they would not even.
Well, first of all,
Uh,
wouldn't get that far because
I don't even know
probably
how to say it.
It
because
It
they buy
just
their kids out of the trouble in the first place.
See
exactly,
that they never get their kids don't get arrested because they take care of it before that happens with their buddies calling
exactly,
them.
exactly.
Because I
And
know when I
that's
was a
what I was
teenager,
trying to. Sorry, I was trying to get across to you is
I had
that
a relative that
you
they
wish
called
you could
him if I got
fucking
pulled
say
over.
that to them. Excuse my language. You wish you could say that to them. But the problem is we all know how that goes, right?
Hmm.
It's a very upsetting way of how we see things in
Hmm.
life. Um, it's really sad.
It's different when you're on their sides of the tracks. Mary,
Yeah,
you did when
yeah.
your kid was 15
Like
and they told you to wait out in the hall and you did it.
here's a good
Mhm.
example. Okay, here's a good example. A guy in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, I don't know. Ah, fuck. I don't even know how old he was. I think he was 20. It's about 10 years ago. He kills 5 people at a, like at a party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids are having a party. I don't even think he was 20 years old. His dad was a goddamn big wig cop. So he may have been really close to police chief. This kid got off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well he's got this and he's got that.
It happens every
He
day.
killed 5 fucking people,
Mm-hmm.
for fuck's sakes.
It happens every
Yeah,
day.
he got off. He got off. So tell me, the justice system, it fails us all the time.
Oh,
Why? Because it depends on who you are.
it does depend on who you are. It really
If
does.
you are cousins to the
Mm-hmm.
judge, yeah, chances are you're gonna get off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you were my dad's a judge, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get off for sure.
Well,
So
when
like,
this happened to us, we were
stop
upper
it.
middle class.
Yeah,
Our finances was upper middle class, and it stripped us of everything we owned. It stripped us of all of our livelihood, and we just got it paid off a few years ago.
yeah, yeah,
And it um, it destroys you financially, mentally, physically.
exactly.
There's nothing
It
left
it
when they get
destroys
done with you.
you
There's
in
nothing
all
left.
ways. It it destroys you in all ways. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's financial,
Mhm.
physical, mentally. It just destroys you.
I'll give you an
Yeah.
Am I
example.
right?
I'll give you an
Yes.
example of it. It's who you know. Many about probably 3 decades ago, my state, my governor, right, or the governor of the state then, his 16-year-old son gets drunk, proceeds to drive down the interstate the wrong way,
Yeah,
hits people head on, kills them, survives himself,
yeah,
drunk, right? And
yep.
he gets off.
He gets off.
He gets off, no charges, no
Yep.
Yeah.
charges whatsoever. He doesn't
And
even lose
why
his
did he get off?
license
Why
because
did
his
he get
daddy
off?
was governor. His daddy was the governor.
Exactly. Hello. There you
Yep.
go. I just said. I just said what I said, and BJ and Ginger just fucking told me exactly what I just said. So there you go. There you go.
Well, people,
You know,
but they might not have to answer in this life, but I do believe that those people that did this will have to answer one day.
oh yeah, oh yeah, they'll answer one day. You know that.
And we still don't know the bad karma that's come their way. We don't know that yet, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well, it
Mary, see,
maybe.
they did us like that with my son, and they told me that I could wait. That I could wait in the waiting area outside the door, and I said no. I'm going with my son.
No.
If he goes in, I go in. Well,
Yeah.
they
Exactly.
canceled the visit. They canceled it. His interrogation. They canceled it. Waited a week and a half till he turned 18, and then brought him in.
Great.
Mhm. So
Wow.
yeah, just like Barb said tonight. Yeah, they tricked her, and she was in court in divorce court one week, and then she was tied up. The other thing, that she got that she had to be there, and they would lie to her and like go in the middle of the night and and do this stuff behind her back. And I can see that, but I could also, yeah, that would only happen once with mine, and I would have But they waited till he's 18, so it didn't matter. You know,
So they fucked him.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He did
They
18
pretty
years.
much fucked him.
My son did 18 years. And when he got out, then he's got the file and the the paperwork is in there that proves he's innocent. And
Wow.
yeah.
Now, okay. I know I'm in Canada. So Canada law, I don't know if you can sue for that.
Well,
Um,
he could sue now. He won't. He said he wanted to forget it. He said that he just wanted it's over with, and he just wants it to
he
be
just
over with.
wants to go away. Yeah, he
Right,
wants it to go away.
right,
Because
and
I don't know, like I don't know a lot of American law,
hmm
but Canadian law, I know if you, excuse me, um, if you, excuse me, if you are accused of a crime and you go to jail, I know you can sue the government.
hmm yeah,
I know that I
yeah.
do know. And I think you can do that in America. I don't know.
Well, this has
I
beat
really
his
don't
confidence
know
down so much.
because I'm
It's beat
not
his confidence
American.
down. He um he feels like that even if he does, it's not going to matter. If he said that he don't. Um, he said it doesn't matter if he went in with the proof or not. That it's not going to matter, and he's just so beat down. 18 years destroyed him, and it just
18
beat him
years.
down so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Destroyed them.
uh,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Hurt him.
I'm trying to get him into counseling now. Um,
He was just 18
yeah, he just turned 18. Well, but he was 17 when
and
it
he
happened.
did 18 years.
Yeah,
Fuck.
he did 18 years. The best years of his life. And he was telling
And
me
he
the
was
other day,
supposed
he went, well, his girlfriend's son, was talking to him about working on cars, and he's like, and he goes, Mama, he goes, I had to sit there and say that he said he didn't know anything about cars because he said the years that he would have been taught how to work on cars and stuff, he was in prison,
yeah.
so he didn't get to learn that stuff. And there's just so much that he brings up now that, that he will never get back.
He'll never get it back.
Mm-mm. No.
Ever. Ever.
Mm-mm.
Never.
The time
Um,
with his kids, everything is just, it's horrible. And just like Steven's kids, I think about his kids. Look at what they went through without their dad. And now it's like there's a conflict with them and Steven. And it's terrible because these people did that to him.
yeah.
I mean, it's just terrible all the way around. I think they all need to be put in prison forever. Um, Ginger, Kitty, she's like you. She said that she tells her kids that to ask for a lawyer, don't talk a lawyer and parents. I
Is,
never even thought about talking to my kids about that.
is
I wish
Betty
I had
still
it.
awake?
I wish I had it. I
Is
don't know what
is
I'm doing.
is Betty still awake?
I don't know. Yeah, I think she is.
Oh
Yeah, she
yeah,
is.
she is too. My mummy's awake. I call her mummy. Hi,
You're probably
mom.
older. You're probably older than her. Older than.
No, she's older than me. I know
Oh,
she is.
your mom. I thought you was talking about Ginger.
No,
When you call
Ginger's
so many
younger
people
than
mama, I
me.
don't know who you're talking about.
No, Betty.
Like, oh, you'll have to
Betty.
start making it more clear.
No,
Eh,
Betty. Betty's my mummy. I
oh,
made her. I
that's
made her
good,
my mummy.
Mary. Oh, okay.
Oh God, she's gonna have a nervous
Oh
breakdown
yeah,
now.
Huey still lives with you're still live with your mommy. That's like you're lucky.
Yeah.
I would live with my parent. Well, my mom lived with me the last 12 years of her life, but I've told kids, you stay living with your mommy. I'd live with my mommy forever if I could have.
Oh, good Lord. I wish I could live with my mom.
Oh,
Too
I
hard to
wish
live with.
that
Good Lord. Drive me
I never
nuts.
would have left home. Oh, but yeah,
Yeah.
the kids, in the drama thing, they make fun of people, oh, you live in your mom's basement or you live, who
Oh,
cares?
yeah. We
They've got
all
it
live in
lucky. I
mom's
mean,
basement,
it, it was like so much more for my kids to have my mom right there too, it was
right?
amazing.
Right?
They need,
Right?
people need to look at that.
Yeah.
But
I totally agree with you.
mm, but yeah, we're gonna start on the documents next week. I'm gonna
Okay.
have document, and we're gonna Brandon's interview. I'm gonna show Brandon's interview next week.
Okay.
Um,
We're gonna
I'm
have
gonna show
fun.
that because
Hmm.
I think that the interview is very important. Brandon's
Yeah.
interview is interviews are very important, and I think we need to listen to those because they do tell a lot. They do, and I think I want
Yeah.
everybody to, if they haven't, I know that some people have not heard the interviews, Brandon's,
See?
and
See?
I want everybody to hear them.
BJ, I told you. See? She's half asleep. Betty.
Who is?
Betty's
Oh,
half
Betty's
asleep.
half asleep. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
fixing to wrap it up. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, next week we'll start. That was
Tired.
documents, and then I will have the oh Brandon's interview. We will watch that next week,
Okay.
and we'll go over
We're
the
doing that
documents.
next week, right?
Yes, next week Saturday.
Yes, dear.
I guess Ginger
I'll
is
be
8:30
here.
good for you,
Oh,
huh?
whatever time. Whatever time for you.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I guess it's
we're
okay.
good.
Ginger, I don't know. I don't know what she's
Oh,
doing, but
Ginger.
I'll
I'm yelling at her kids
wait to
right.
end it when she comes back. But
Okay. Well, hey, I love you, sweetheart, and I'll
okay.
talk to you later.
Thank you, Hemi, for coming up. Appreciate you.
Oh, no,
And
no
you better be
worries.
back next week. I've missed you. Okay.
Yes, my girl. Yes, my girl.
All
I'll be.
right.
No, I'm always watching over you.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know
Love,
that.
love, love you, sweetheart.
Yes. Love
Bye.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, babe. Okay. So, let's see. But, Mary, to think maybe if Steve would have left it alone, but I don't blame him for not. I know. Yeah, I wonder if Stephen Wood had just went home and not filed a lawsuit and not started that law and all that. I wonder if they would have if things would have went differently. I mean, I'm just so curious about that because I do believe that that's the reason that he's in there, and it's a shame. I can only imagine how down he must be. How hopeless he feels that things are because spending 18 years and then turn out just 3 years and then going right back in. Nobody would want that for themselves. And anybody that spent 18 years in prison for something that they didn't do, they're not going to do something to get right back in there. And doing something like that, he had to have known. If he had done something like that, he had to have known they would have looked at him first because the lawsuit and everything. I mean, that would have just been almost a done deal. They would have looked at him first. And if he'd have done it, he might as well put a neon sign on his head saying, "Yep, I did it." I mean, it's crazy. So say it to his mom. What? I also would be afraid to mail someone in prison because of my address getting out. Yeah, I know. Oh, if those the pen pal things, Trent told me that they they get a letter in the mail from somebody and they will pass their, if they get more than one letter, they'll pass it out to your address out to other inmates and let them write you. I mean, yeah, they pass them out and exchange them and everything else. I mean, so yeah, your address would not be safe. But I'm gonna write Brandon because I know that it will be safe if I write him. So I'm going to get the nerve up one of these days to write him. Oh yeah. Oh, he told his mom that. It's a shame, isn't it? I know he regrets it. I know that he just and I in his phone calls and stuff, you could hear the frustration with him because it was just so he was just so down about it because nobody was helping him. Nobody was listening. His family was even on phone calls doubting him and everything, acting like that he did it because of what law enforcement was telling him. It's crazy. Ginger, are you still there? I thought I'd let you tell everybody bye. But we'll do it next Saturday at 8:30.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We'll do it next Saturday. Is 8:30 okay with you, Junior? Next Saturday?
I'm sorry. I've been driving. So
It's
I was
okay.
just
Will
I
8:30
just
be
had you
okay?
guys sitting on the console.
um, is 8:30 okay with you next Saturday?
What?
Is 8:30 okay with you next Saturday?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, thank y'all all for coming, and we'll have I'll have some documents, and I'll have that interview, starting Brandon's first interview, and we'll go through that. I think that's going to be really interesting for me and you, don't you? So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up, and I hope that y'all all have a good night, and stay safe,
Good night.
and be good. Stay out of trouble. Thank you, Ginger, for coming. I appreciate you so much. I really do. You're amazing. And y'all have a good night. And come back next week. I hope to see y'all. And we're rusty at this, so I will get better. Thank you guys. Have a good night.